It's called Treasures of Gold and Silver Wire. And these are the greatest treasures made of gold and silver wire that have ever been brought together and we'll never see again, because a lot of them have come out of storage and are not on public display. You can only see them here. The Bacton altar cloth, Queen Elizabeth I gives it to her devoted gentlewoman when she retires after 56 years. And this lady, Blanche Parry, takes it back to her little church in Bacton. They make it into an altar cloth, and it survives because it was made into something else. And of course the church always preserves things very well. So that's one of the themes, is the fact that some things have survived because they've been recycled into something else, because the embroidery was admired so much that it was reused and reused. So we can read the object where you can say, oh, that's a 15th century piece, that's a 16th century piece, and they've put it together in the 19th century because they recognized how wonderful these things were and they should be saved.
It is amazing what this livery company has done in putting this exhibition together, and it's just one of the many parts of Destination City, which is something that it's a fairly new initiative introduced by the corporation to promote and celebrate all the wonderful arts and culture, the history and the heritage in this great city of London, of which I am a resident, so I've become passionate about my surroundings. My wife and I moved into the city 10, 11 years ago, and almost every day we find out something new about living here. It's an incredible place to live. It has huge potential. And one of the things about this initiative, Destination City, is that we are hoping to bring huge numbers of visitors in, because lots of people don't know about it. As a resident, lots of residents don't know about what we have here in the city, and a lot of workers don't. And if we have a really vibrant arts and culture program, then that's a win-win for residents, for workers, for the small businesses, the cafes, the restaurants. I don't know if you know the city 10, 20, 30 years ago. It was much quieter, and more recently it's become so vibrant. It's now sort of almost 24/7, and it's very, very exciting, and there's such, as I mentioned, such huge potential.
We're celebrating our 400th anniversary. So we're at the starting point. So I know how you start off with a great bar of gold and you pull it through a hole, then you pull it through a smaller hole, and then you keep pulling it through smaller and smaller holes until you can make it the width of a human hair, which is incredible. So once you've made the gold and silver wire, that's just the starting point, because it's not the end product, it's the beginning. So then you use it. So, oh yes, you can twist it. Oh yes, you can twirl it around like as if it was around a pencil and make a little loop of them. But then you can do more and more, and then you give it to an embroiderer, and they go, oh, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do this. I'll do that. I've looked at these and I don't know how they've done it. So I spend hours peering at it, thinking, where did they start? Where did they start, and how did they manage to get that to look like that? So the whole exhibition is about the craft. So we have looked at the trades of London, and we're very fortunate in London in that not only do livery companies, i.e. they're medieval trade guilds, they're carrying on being trade guilds now. The whole point about the livery companies is that they were making sure of quality control, and they were training apprentices. And in our company, we're still training apprentices. So we've got freemen of the company, youngsters who are producing works of art to show that it's still relevant today.
Well, it's an amazing suit. This is the only surviving full dress that Charles Dickens ever wore. He wore it to a royal reception about 2 months before he died. And the host was the Prince of Wales, who later became King Edward VII. But what I find fascinating about it is Charles Dickens, who was very much a man of the people, and he was not keen on pomposity and civility, wore a suit like this with a sword as well. and it's been amazingly well preserved.
When I put the exhibition together, we had a wish list, and then suddenly we got more and more people offering us objects that we weren't expecting. So there wasn't a performing arts section. There is now. So the Royal Ballet School and Dame Darcy Bustle has lent us her ballet costume that she wore for the Ballet Sylvia, which is just wonderful. Then the Royal Shakespeare Company, not to be outdone, they have lent us the gold lurex cloak and crown of Dame Helen Mirren. And we also had David Tennant's Richard II robes. And then Angel's costume said, oh, but we can lend you the costumes from The Crown. So we've got Claire Foy's coronation gown from The Crown. We've got her coronation glove. Now, I say glove, it's not like we've lost one. The Queen only wear, and the King too, if you'd noticed at his coronation, they only wear one glove. So the Worshipful Company of Glovers, they made this one glove, and she holds the sceptre in it. And it's symbolic. She's ruling the country with a gloved hand.